Hey guys, welcome back. So my video today is going to be 10 tips for IVF. So as you guys know, I did a fresh transfer. I have not done a frozen transfer yet. So that is what these tips are for, and I just want to go ahead and say that these tips are what work for me and tips that I would give other people. They may not work for you, they may work for you. So your doctor might tell you to do something different, maybe your friend tells you to do something different. These are not tips that are going to work for everybody. With that being said, my first tip is to organize your medication. So when you first get your medication, it will more than likely come in this giant box with everything in it. I got everything other than my trigger shot all at once, which was my Ganirelix, my Menopur, my Gonal-F, my endometrium, the applicators, my needles, my syringes, my RX container, my gauze pads, my wipes, and I think other couple little things. So I know there's a couple ways people will organize these things. I've seen like the shoe holders over the door, and I've seen like the big plastic drawer things, but I didn't want to pay a bunch of money on something that I was hoping was going to work the first time, which it didn't, and that's fine. So I went to the Everything's a Dollar store, and I think I paid like $5 for all the containers that I had. I don't have all of them with me. I just picked a couple of them and brought them to show you. So this one, I kept my endometrium, which is these. They're little, they look like little tablets, like little pills, and then the applicators to insert them. I got these little ones, and I put my needles in them. These are 30 gauge needles. They were for my Menopur, and then they also had my Q-caps in them that I used to mix my Menopur with. And then I also had one that had my alcohol wipes in it. And then I got 2 or 3 of these. One of them I used for all of my pills, and then the other 2 I used for my syringes, which these needles are fairly large. This is the size, it's 22 gauge that I'm gonna have to use for my progesterone shots that I'm gonna be starting here soon. And it's actually kind of funny because when I ordered my Menopur, I have like a whole bag left of these that I didn't use, but when I ordered my progesterone, they gave me exactly enough to be able to do the shots that I needed with. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna keep those. I am actually about to donate all of my leftover medication back to my office. They told me that they give it to their cancer patients that don't have enough time to get pre-authorization through the insurance, so I felt really good about doing that. I tried to find people to donate it to, and it just never worked out because there's actually not a lot of people around here that needed the medication. It was people that were further away, and I really didn't want to ship it because it's hot and then it's cold and it's raining, and I didn't know what that would do to the medication. So my second tip, you guys saw me talk about this in the last video, is to get a notebook, a binder, something to organize you. So you guys have no clue how much this helped me, like seriously. When I said that I forget everything, like I was serious, just ask my husband. He will gladly tell you that my memory is horrible, and it got worse after I had Jace. But let me see if I can find something that's legible to you guys. So like this I wrote what my next appointment was, and then I needed to up my medicine, and then I think it was my Gonal-F was staying the same, and then I was starting my Ganirelix. So just stuff like that. You pay so much money to do this stuff, it's like you don't want to mess it up, and then if you mess certain things up, you could ruin your cycle, and then you have to cancel it, and nobody wants that. So my third tip is more like a suggestion, I guess, but you really need support through all of this. Whether it be your significant other, your mom, your dad, your best friend, your younger sibling, I don't care who it is, you need support. You will get emotional, you will get stressed out, you'll be pushed to your limit, and you might even get pushed over it, and you really need someone that's gonna have your back and is gonna be there to support you through all of this, whether they know what you're going through or they don't. You just really need someone there that's gonna listen to you. And of course, you guys can always reach out to me. I will gladly be part of your support system. I love to support other IVF and infertility people. Just please find some sort of support system. There's so many groups on Facebook for IVF, infertility, secondary infertility, IUI, just trying to conceive. If you guys want some help finding some of those, I'm a part of a bunch of them, so just feel free to comment below and ask, or message me, and I will gladly private message you the links to all of the groups that I'm in. My fourth tip is to ask questions. So this journey gets very confusing very quickly, especially when going through fertility treatments. So do not be afraid to ask me questions, ask your healthcare provider questions, reach out to your nurse, to your friend. Like I said, on those groups, they're very helpful. Sometimes I don't feel like it's urgent enough to email or call my nurse, so I would just hop on those groups and type it in, and within seconds I will get a response back. So my 5th tip, for me personally, I didn't ice before my injections, I iced after them. And it was usually only the ganirelix, sometimes the Menopure. The Gyno-F never really bothered me. But this is actually the ice pack when my injections came. And I really liked this. So I would stop icing after my skin got sort of like numb, and then usually it would be perfectly fine. Sometimes I still had like a little like itch and burning sensation, usually from my ganirelix, but it usually would go away within like an hour. So my 6th tip is, if you guys are doing these at all, is to buy a giant box of panty liners. For any of you that have gone through this, I'm sure that's very self-explanatory to you, but if you have not gone through this yet, these are vaginal suppositories, so I'm sure that explains itself. The box of like the really big ones at the dollar store, and they worked fine for me. So, and my 7th tip is to not be afraid to email or call your nurse or your doctor. So this took me a little while to get over like feeling bad. I would constantly feel bad if I would email my nurse or call her, because like I would feel like she was busy and like she got annoyed. She's constantly reiterated to me that that is her job, that's what she's there for. She's there to answer my questions, she's there if I need her, and she's been nothing but wonderful to me. She is so awesome. We apparently got lucky, because I've heard a lot of people say they don't really like their nurses. Not even just at my clinic. I've talked to some other women that don't really care for their nurses, and they don't say anything, so they don't get switched. So if you don't like your nurse, say something and you can get a new one, but thankfully I have really liked my nurse so far. My 8th tip, and something that really helped me, was to set alarms for my medication. So I had to take my medication at the same exact time every single day, and it was easy when I just did the night medication, but then once I started doing the ganirelix in the morning, it got a little tricky. So I would set my timer to do it in the morning, and then I would set my timer at night. And once I was like 4 or 5 days in, I pretty much knew like when I needed to do them. But there was like a day or two towards the end where like I'd be like, oh crap, like I gotta go do it, like. So that really helped me. Like I said, like with the notebook, I forget literally everything. So anytime I can set a reminder or a timer or write it down, I usually do that. So my 9th tip for people doing the injections is to get Band-Aids. I know some women get like the cute Band-Aids, but they get a little expensive, and I didn't feel like wasting money because you literally have it on for I think less than like 24 hours. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see them, but these little circle ones. And they were really great because I didn't really bleed a lot. I did a couple of times my injections, but not really. So once I was done, I would put a Band-Aid on the side that I did the injection on. So then I would know for the next time I need to do an injection to do it on the side without the Band-Aid. And then when I did that, I would put the Band-Aid on that side and take the Band-Aid off of the other side. So the way I did it, and I guess it sort of sounds goofy now that I like say it back to myself, but I would do my shot in the morning on my right side and my shots in the evening on the left side, and then switch. So I technically was still doing a shot on each side a day, but the ganirelix just bruised my stomach so bad that I didn't want to do the other injections on the same side in the same day. So these definitely were a lifesaver for me because my stomach did get very bruised very easily, and the bruises didn't all show up right away, and I was also just very sore and tender, and these really helped me remember where I needed to do my next injection at. Alright, so my 10th and last tip is to be prepared for literally anything. This journey throws constant curveballs, and you have no clue what's going to happen. Your cycle could get canceled, you could have to up your medication, lower your medication, see a different doctor. Anything could happen. Go into this prepared and don't set any expectations because everybody's different. Everyone's body reacts differently to the medication. Your lining cannot be thick enough to do your transfer and have to get canceled. You might have to do extra days of injections like I did. They told me I should only have to do injections for 10 days, and I had to do them for 13 and actually almost 14 days. You might have 15 follicles and they only retrieve 8. I mean, you have no clue what's going to happen until everything is said and done and you're pregnant and then you're holding your baby. So going into this next cycle, I'm trying not to have super high expectations. It's really, really hard, honestly, not to get excited because we know that this is one of the only ways we could get pregnant. And with my health issues, we do not have time on our side, even though we are very young. I'm going to have a hysterectomy by the time I'm about 25, so we would like to have at least 3 kids. So I'm 22 now, so we only have 3 years left. And I can definitely tell that my endometriosis is coming back. So if this next transfer doesn't work, like I said before, we're taking some time off, and during that time off, I'll probably schedule an appointment with Dr. Barreto that I see out of Towson. He's an amazing doctor for anybody that is having issues with endometriosis that lives around the general area. I drive, I think it's close to an hour just for my appointments with him. He's been great. He removed all of my endometriosis last time, and he's just been wonderful. So if any of you have any tips or tricks or just anything positive to share with me about a frozen transfer, I have not done one of them yet, and as you know, that's what we have coming up here shortly. So I could really use some tips on anything that helped you guys stay relaxed, prepare for your transfer, do your progesterone shots, the 2-week wait, which everybody in this whole world that has ever tried to get pregnant, whether it be naturally, IUI, IVF, the 2-week wait is literally, it sucks. If you have any tips or tricks, please leave them in the comments below or feel free to private message me on Facebook or Instagram. I would love, love, love to have some tips to give to Jacob about doing my progesterone shots. I know he's a little bit nervous about doing them, and I'm quite nervous, honestly, about him stabbing me. He's never given anybody a shot, so wish us luck. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and be sure to like this video and subscribe so that you can follow along on our IVF journey to growing our family. Thank you guys. Bye.